morning and welcome to After GMS. It is Tuesday. We agreed it's Tuesday, right?
We agreed on that, yeah.
It's Tuesday,
I think so. Yeah.
July 26th. Christian and I are just starting the week. Thank you, Megan, for working solo yesterday.
That's all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Monday blues for us.
I know. I'm like, so today is in fact Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's also election day for people in the city of Greensboro to head to the polls and make their voices heard on a few bond issues and also some council seats as well as mayor, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, the polls open until 7:30 tonight. So if you are planning your day, make sure you schedule some time to do that. As long as you're in line by 7:30, the State Board of Elections says you should be able to cast a ballot. Cool. All right, so good morning. Thanks so much for tuning in here. I'm Megan Maleris with Tracy McCain and meteorologist Christian Morgan. And we got to get started with the forecast.
It is warm and sticky, and that's not really going to change, although the heat is not extreme this week. That's the good thing. That's not extreme any point. Of course, we'll hover around that 90-degree mark regardless. As you look out over downtown High Point, most of us are covered up in clouds this morning, a mostly cloudy start with a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, sitting at 73 degrees right now in High Point. Of course, the cold front getting a little closer to us today. Meanwhile, the Bermuda high sits offshore still and is giving us that south and southwesterly wind. That's why we're warm. That's why we're humid. And that cold front getting closer to us kind of acts as a trigger to get some thunderstorms going this afternoon. So still not everybody will get a storm. They'll still be hit or miss and scatter, but the ones that do pop up could pack a bit of a punch or be on the strong or severe side today. Meanwhile, after this moves away, the rest of the week is really just driven by the heat and humidity for those pop-up daily afternoon thunderstorms. Later in the week, heading into the weekend, another cold front will get closer to us from the northwest, and that will again increase our storm chance over the course of Saturday and Sunday. So all of us in that level 1 risk for severe weather today. Again, storms will be scattered, so not everybody gets one, but good idea to download that News 2 radar app so you can track along with us from time to time and just keep check on that weather to see what's happening from time to time as well. Main timing for storms today is going to be from about 2 p.m. up until about 8 p.m. So really that peak heating of the day. And once we lose that, most of that storm action, whatever's out there, will start to come to an end. Main concerns today for any storms that get strong or possibly turn severe would be for a damaging wind gust. Could also be some localized flash flooding in a few spots too. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Here's what the Futurecast model shows you. Again, not everybody gets a storm, but the ones that pop up could pack a bit of a punch, maybe with some frequent lightning as well. And as we go into the 9 and 10 o'clock hour overnight, most of that will come to an end. We'll see a partly cloudy sky with low 70s heading into your Wednesday. The extra clouds this morning and the showers and storms this afternoon will help keep our temperatures down a bit. So we'll hover in the mid and upper 80s this afternoon, just shy of that 90-degree mark. And again, those storm chances really go up after about 2 o'clock. There's your 7-day forecast. Heat and humidity hangs tough. We hover around 90 through the end of the work week with that 30 to 40% storm chance. Then we up the storm chance just a little bit, still hit or miss over the course of the weekend. Temperatures will hover in the mid and upper 80s Saturday and Sunday.
All right, let's start with something to make you smile, especially if you win it, right? Our trending story of the morning, everyone's talking about tonight's Mega Millions jackpot. It is over $800 million.
Whoa.
That is one of the largest in history.
I'll take it.
I know, right? Even the cash buyout sounds nice.
Yeah.
We want to know, what would be the first thing you would buy if you won? Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section, and we got some information to give you about your chances of winning. It is minuscule at 1 in 302.5 million.
Yeah.
But if you do win, the cash option would be a lump sum of about $470 million. There has not been a big winner in 3 months, but 4 ticket holders won at least $1 million in last week's drawing. So your odds are not that great, but if you do hit the jackpot, you are really like making out like a bandit.
I'd still be happy if I was one of the 4 with $1 million.
Right?
I don't have to win the whole thing. Just,
right.
You know.
A little million here or there,
Right.
not bad. Yeah.
Right.
LeVar Gerald said he's absolutely playing and looking forward to buying an island when he wins.
Hope we'll be invited.
Yeah. Got to buy a boat and a plane to get us there, LeVar.
That's right.
And we'll join you.
Right. Seriously, all expenses paid. Thanks, Jarrell. Bobby said he was going to buy an electric car, but then he had like a emoji that's like, I don't know if it's to take it seriously or not. So you have to read it and let me know if he's joking or if he's serious, because Bobby is a jokester sometimes.
That'd be a good investment, though, right now with gas prices so high.
Rhonda said probably a beach house for my daughter, a hunting ranch for my hubby, somewhere out west.
And I know Rhonda personally.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I would also assume that Rhonda would probably use some of that money to buy endless concert tickets too. She loves going to concerts.
Nice.
She like
Anyone
Bantam
in
Rooster
particular?
She does like Bantam Rooster. Are you coming on Friday, Rhonda? You can put it in the chat.
Where are you guys
there.
playing Friday?
We'll be in Randleman on
Oh,
Friday night, so not
close
too
to
far
home.
down the road.
Open to everyone?
Open to everybody.
Awesome.
Come on out, 7 o'clock.
We have plans now. All
All
right.
right.
Sounds good.
Bobby clarified. He said, I'm serious on this one.
Okay.
And he said he would want a Tesla. So
Not
thank
bad.
you. Yes, yes. So what would you guys get if you won the jackpot?
My splurge would be a horse ranch. Always wanted my own horse ranch. My charitable gift would be animal shelters somewhere. Ed and I talked about this yesterday, having our dream of sharing the winnings and opening up shelters in places that don't have ones or need new ones. So, you know, you can save all the animals in the world who need homes, right? In a perfect world. I know that's not realistic, but, you know, a little bit goes a long way.
Yep.
But you can't play if you can't win if you don't play.
Right.
And so it's been a long time since I bought a lottery ticket, but I might have to stop by the gas station. This is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
I was trying to think. We were talking about this earlier this morning. I'm trying to think of a time where I've actually bought a lottery ticket. I think every time, maybe once. I think every other time I've played anything, it's always been a scratch-off ticket.
Yeah, I typically don't buy an actual lottery ticket, but I rarely, you know, get a scratch off either. I just always get so caught up in whatever is really going on in the day that I don't think about it.
Yeah.
My husband will come home sometimes with lottery tickets, and I'm like, oh, great, glad you got that, but I don't ever really think about it.
And then I'm like, oh man, I hope it's me, but it can't be me
It can't
because
be
I haven't bought a
me.
ticket.
Exactly, exactly.
I don't know. What would you buy?
Oh gosh, I would make sure that my kids' college tuitions
Yeah.
are all set. That would be first, and then I'd make sure that I could retire,
Yep.
like the next day, and maybe my husband too. You know, depending on how much I won. But yeah, I would. I'm out of here.
Thanks. Feel the love here.
I mean, I love you guys, and obviously I would do my best to get you to come with me. And then if we're doing like a charitable, I think I would maybe buy a wing or donate to a hospital and have it named after my parents,
Oh, that's
just
cool.
because they were both in the medical field, and I feel like they contributed in different ways to science and treatments and medicines and
That's
things
awesome.
like that. So I would try to do something like that in honor of them.
That's awesome.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What about you?
Would donate to my church to help pay off the debt there for a couple new buildings, a couple new wings we have there, and then would find a charity to give it to, and then I would probably try to live about like I live right now, but save it, put it back and save it and invest it for for the future, for family or something like that.
Right. Now, if college tuition is free one day,
Exactly.
Then I will pull
Right.
that back out and I will.
exactly. I'm like, oh, we actually have other things we can
Hey,
do with that.
tell my future kids, hey, look, I set this up for you, but you don't need it anymore, so I'm going to
Right.
take it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's technically still under my name.
That's right.
Right. Rhonda said she is going with you, or going to see you.
All right, Rhonda.
So that'd be cool.
Good stuff.
Record it, Rhonda. Send it to us because we still need proof.
Proof of what?
Your singing
Oh, okay.
abilities, yes. Jessica Rule said she would buy a farm so she could adopt a lot of animals in need. Maybe y'all could do it together.
We could. Debbie too. She wants to have a pet sanctuary. So let's
Nice.
just all
Really cool.
team up.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, we'll do this together.
That's
that's
awesome. Belinda said 800 million. I would go where no man has gone before.
Where's that?
I'm not sure.
Ooh.
But
Follow up.
Your money,
Well-
hey, listen, your money can do anything, right?
Man, technically, has not been to Mars yet. We've had robots there,
There you
cameras
go.
there,
See?
but man has not been to Mars yet.
So smart.
Okay.
As a woman? No, I'm joking. Joanne
Not
said,
that either.
because we are from, women are from Venus, girls are from Venus. Yeah, boys
Yeah.
are from Mars. Yeah. Okay.
See?
Joanne said she doesn't play it, but if she had that much, she would. She said she'd help her family and then the churches and then do some traveling after that. Ramona said she'd help her family, help her church, pay off the bills, put some in the bank, maybe do some traveling too.
That's the plan. You've thought about this.
LeVar said he's building a spaceship.
LeVar's going to buy an island.
He's going to buy an
gonna
island and a
spaceship.
Right, to get there.
LeVar, I don't know if 800 million is even going to cut it though by the time you pay taxes on that.
How much does a spaceship cost?
I'm not sure the going rate.
LeVar, you get back to us.
Ask Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Bobby also said that he would buy a nice hotel or have one built on an island such as the Bahamas. Let it make him some extra cash.
See, I was going to say, Bobby's got the right idea. Invest it. You got to invest money to make money.
Exactly. And sometimes it takes a whole lot of money.
Whole lot of it.
I mean, if you could buy like a fast food chain, you're like immediately making money. So, but you have to obviously have that money to do it.
That's right.
Sean wants to buy some famous shoes, the Jordans.
Oh.
He could buy as many as he wanted.
All that he wants.
Yeah.
All right, so something to have some fun with this morning. We have another conversation in just a few minutes, so we'll hope you stick around for that.
Cool.
Right now we have some morning headlines we have to catch you up on before you start your day. 2 juveniles face charges accused of breaking into a Winston-Salem church. It happened just before 11 last night on Reno Church on Wayne Avenue. When police arrived, they found the 2 inside wearing ski masks. They were released to their parents and now face breaking and entering charges. Lexington City Schools has put a pause on its clear bag policy before it even started. Yesterday, the board pulled the policy because it said there was a shortage of clear bags, making it difficult for students to even follow the rule. Clear bags will still be required at sporting events.
The future of a new training facility, for the Carolina Panthers is uncertain at this point as the team heads for training camp in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Hopes for the Rock Hill facility were dashed earlier this year when owner David Tepper terminated the project despite investing millions of his own money to start construction. Tepper's real estate company filed for bankruptcy after the deal fell through and is looking to sell the property to developers. A hearing on this is expected next month. Well, crews are working around the clock at Sedgefield Country Club, getting ready for next week's Wyndham Championship. It starts August 3rd through the 7th. Among the big players, Kevin Kisner returns to Greensboro to try defending his title and, of course, to hold on to that Sam Snead trophy.
Greensboro residents heading to the polls today for one of the first of 2 general elections this year.
So, of course, to be decided, the race for mayor, several city council seats, plus millions of dollars in bonds. WFMY News 2's Itini's McMiller has more on the process.
Well, the polls are officially open, and we are at the McGirt Horton Library off of Phillips Avenue. It's just one of 7 polling locations here in Greensboro, and this is the last chance for Greensboro voters to decide the course of our city for the next 4 years. Voters will determine who the city's next mayor is and who will hold seats on city council. And then there's the 5 bond initiatives aimed at improving the city. These improvements have a hefty price tag of $135 million and will cost Greensboro property taxpayers. The city council already approved a budget that anticipated the bonds passing today.
It's not really dependent on the outcome of the election, but because of the unique timing of this bond vote, council had to adopt the budget before the vote on the bond had taken place. So regardless of whether the bonds pass or not, the tax rate would remain the same, but we would have the opportunity to adjust it in future years depending on the outcome.
This increase is on property taxes, and it would impact everyone differently. For example, if you have a $200,000 home, the increase would cost you about $15 per year. And we have a full breakdown of all of the bonds on our website. Once you do your research, you can head to the polls through 7:30 this evening. 12,000 people voted early, and election officials say that we are on track to have a typical turnout for a municipal election.
All right, we're just talking about our generations here. Like, we've decided I'm a millennial because
Gen millennial.
I'm Gen X, but technically I'm so cool and savvy I could be a millennial.
Yeah, close.
Thank you.
I like that.
All right, great. All right, so there's a reason why we're having this pre-discussion. It's about our next conversation, which is on moving away from home, which I seem to have skipped over in our prompter, so let me go back here. Oh, that's why. Okay, take it away, Megan. I'm messing up. I'm
All
dropping
right.
it.
No.
Let
You got it though.
try over
You
here.
drop it. All right, you had the basis down.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, the new study found most millennials have not strayed far from home. By age 26, more than 2/3 of young adults in the U.S. lived in the same area where they grew up. 80% had moved less than 100 miles away, and 90% resided less than 500 miles away. The reason? The economy and culture. All right, so this is interesting. I think all three of us have kind of different experiences.
Yeah.
Well, you two maybe a little more similarly. I moved away from home. I went to college at the University of Missouri, which was close to my hometown of St. Louis, but still about an hour and a half away, and then moved here for the job. This is where I met my husband, now have our 2 children, so this is now home, and it has been for almost a decade now. Most of my friends have actually moved out of St. Louis as well for jobs, similar reasons. So this was actually surprising. I guess I'm technically in the millennial category, and most of the people I know have moved away. So
I think it's kind of split in terms of my friends having moved away. If they've moved away, they've moved to Charlotte or Raleigh.
yeah,
Close by.
So still-
Close by, but
Yeah.
still, you know, within North Carolina. You know, I was one of only a handful who went far away for college. And I did that purposefully because that's where the scholarship money was. And I loved being away from home, but I always knew I wanted to come back. So that was always my goal, was to, you know, go experience, you know, be adventurous and, you know, figure out the world for just 4 years and then come back home. It did take me probably about 10 years before I came back home. But yeah, I consider, even though I'm not from Greensboro, technically I'm from Guilford County. So yes, I'm home. But that's because intentionally I was like, I'm moving back here because it's just always what I wanted.
I've always been a homebody.
Yeah.
Always. You know, and I never have pictured myself living really, really far away, you know, from home. As a lot of folks, as you guys know, and a lot of folks who watch our show and watch this every morning know, I'm from Asheboro, so I'm from, 25 miles down the road. Always, growing up, we would come to Greensboro and eat or do things in Greensboro. So I've always considered the triad, or at least somewhere in the triad, home.
Yeah.
But and you guys know, and what a lot of our viewers may not know, that in this business, it's really hard to be able to work in your home market. So I feel very blessed in that realm to be able to serve, the folks that I grew up with and the people that I grew up around and the people that I know and the communities that I know. And I think that's really cool. But, I've always been a homebody, and, depending on what day it is, really depending on whether I live in Greensboro or Asheboro. I go back and forth between the two so much, so much. I was over in Asheboro over the weekend. I'm here now. I got to go back to Asheboro tomorrow for something, and I'll be back here later in the week. So, I'm somewhere between Greensboro and Asheboro most days of the week.
Yeah.
He's like, I live on 64.
I live on 220, or what's now called 73.
73.
See, that's a hometown person. We used to call it
Dixie.
220.
Okay.
Oh, you're thinking about Dixie Drive?
Yeah, that's
which
what I
is
was thinking.
64.
See?
Yeah, it
Zoo
is.
Parkway.
Yeah,
Another one.
That's another one.
I will say it's hard not to be driving distance from your home base, your hometown, because even if you move and your immediate family moves close to you, your extended family and friends are still at home.
Yeah.
And so we took the kids to St. Louis a couple weekends ago, and it was not necessarily an ordeal. It was just a big planning event to go there, because you had to get on the plane, you had to bring all the luggage, decide what you couldn't travel, and buy it while you were there. So it's just a lot of logistics. And when I was there, I'm like, oh, this is really nice, being close to family, but it just no longer felt like home, because now living here for so long and being in this amazing community, this is home. And I think, sometimes it takes time to really realize that.
Yeah.
But I am a big proponent of going away from home at some point in your life, whether it's for college, whether it's even for an internship opportunity or a job. You can always come home again, but once you're home, sometimes it's hard to leave.
That's interesting. You mentioned too, like most of your friends moved away from St. Louis. I have several friends that moved away from this area, but most of the ones that I kept in touch with, and even some folks I went to college with, are at least close by to this area now. So it's got to be kind of odd, or what you say, it doesn't really feel like home anymore, because you go there and the people you grew up with and the things you did aren't really there anymore.
Changes.
It does change as you grow and have different things that are added to your life. Things change. Let's see, we have a few comments here. Debbie said, I live 5 miles from the home she grew up in. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Oh, thank you, Preston. I appreciate the compliments. He said my hair looks pretty.
Oh.
LeVar said, right here in Greensboro. When I was younger, I left Greensboro, but ended up coming back. Yep, I hear you.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm having, I need a cough.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you take this.
All right, I'm trying to keep up here. Joanne said, no way, born and bred in Kentucky, once a Kentuckian, always a Kentuckian. And she came there to North Carolina as a missionary. Joanne, you are such a loyal viewer of After GMS, so we appreciate you, even regardless of where you live, for being part of our family here.
Thank you, Joanne.
And that's the power of social media, too. We can connect with you no matter where you live, even if you're not from here. There she is. She's back.
I just need a little sip of water. I figured I would jump in with 2 feet.
LeVar connected our two conversations. He said, after I win this $800 million, I love you, Greensboro, but gotta go.
Right?
To that island you were talking about
On
buying.
that spaceship.
But you would
I get
come back.
lonely.
He would come back.
I get lonely there.
You know, home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
I used to have like a little placemat that said, home is where the chicken is. And it was like the state of North Carolina with like a chicken on it. Just because like, I mean, I know that we don't think of it, but like around the country, like, you know, places that have restaurants that feature chicken have been like started in North Carolina, a bulk of them. So that's, I guess, why. I didn't buy it in North Carolina, by the way. I bought it up north. So
And it was the North Carolina.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
It was very interesting. I'm like, oh, so that's what they think of us.
Never thought of us as the chicken state before.
Yeah, well, you know what? Somewhere, some person does, and they're making money off of it.
Somewhere, somebody.
Maybe that should be on our license plates.
A chicken?
Yeah.
I like the plane.
First
I like
chicken.
the plane too, but that's disputed. We're actually first in flight.
Are we heard about that?
Are we first in chicken? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we can make sure it happens.
All right.
Okay, so I feel better, by the way. I'm all good.
Good.
Yeah, I just had something went down the wrong way. I'm good. I'm good. All right, so what are we thinking about in terms of the forecast for the rest of the day? Do I need an umbrella at some point?
I think it's hot, and I think we might have a few storms. And I think a few of those storms may be on the strong or severe side. That's kind of the flavor for the rest of the week. It's just hot and sticky, but not extreme with those daily pop-up thunderstorm chances. You know how it goes, late July. Not a whole lot of change, not a whole lot of variation here. A couple of those storms today may be on the strong or severe side, mainly looking out for a damaging wind gust or possibly some localized flash flooding in spots if it rains really heavy for a while and these storms don't really move a lot. There's not a whole lot of wind to really get these things moving pretty quickly, so that may be something to watch out for. Not everybody's getting a storm today, but good idea to download that News 2 Radar app. Shameless plug here, but you can follow along with exactly what we're looking at, and good idea to check that weather from time to time this afternoon and this evening. Main timing for storms from about 2 p.m. till about 8 p.m. After that, all the action out there should start to come to an end. Same story as we go throughout the rest of the week. Temperatures hover around 90, 50% storm chance, scattered storms for the weekend, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s there. So also, I'll make note of this. Now, our average high temperature, if you look in the top right corner of your screen there, it was 89, now it's 88. So we are on, we have crested the top of the roller coaster and we are starting to come back down now.
You know, arguably you could really copy and paste the same temperature and chance of rain every single day for the next 6.
Yeah, July forecasting in North Carolina is a very mundane task.
Right. You're like, you know what? I feel like it's going to be 89 today. Tomorrow, 90.
Tomorrow, 90. The next day, 89. 88 and a half.
Yeah, no, we had a strong storm last night at our house, but it was so fast.
Yeah.
And once it was out, it was beautiful and it was cooler. And so, like, the kids went on a bike ride. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
And some folks didn't get a single drop.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
We
Summertime.
got a lot of rain. Okay. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, that's it.
We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another great edition of After GMS. You guys take care.
See ya.